Hi there guys, Joel here from Aussie Chart Trends. Today's market update is for Tuesday the 5th of March 2013. Today's update, we're going to check the S&P out quickly and then we're going to take a look at the Asx200. Before we do so, I just need to remind you that the website and the video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in the video is intended to be used as any form of investment advice. I'm not a licensed professional. You need to make your own decisions regarding your investments. I'm just here to help anyone searching for a practical direction in today's markets. Okay, so firstly, let's take a look at the smp500. Here, looking at the S&P on a 30-minute chart. In yesterday's video, we were discussing that potentially we may see a fail at these levels that we last encountered at the 1525 area, and that we may potentially still come down to break this lower boundary level of support. Now, guys, we've seen in last night's action, the other scenario that we had in play was that we would see a handle form here to an inverted head and shoulders pattern, where we would see a left shoulder here, a head, and then a right shoulder here with the breakout. Another term is a cup and handle pattern, where this would be the cup and we've got our little handle pattern here. So if we measure this pattern, just get my drawing tool, and we measure from this neckline here all the way down to the bottom of the head, and then we add that on to wherever the market breaks out. Say if we get a breakout in tonight's trade, which may be here somewhere, doesn't matter because this line's horizontal anyway. We'd be looking for a minimum expected target of around that 1563, 1564 area as an expected target for this little pattern here. At the end of the day, it looks as if that we may just get up over this area, and then with a nice back test on this neckline, we would head on up to achieve that expected target from this pattern. We're still at that level there of resistance, but I think that we probably most likely will take this area out and start to head on up to that target. So let's see if this purple line acts as resistance in tonight's trade. That purple line's around that 1528. 1529 level, and let's see if that acts as an area of resistance, and if we get a back test in tonight's trade on that neckline, which is right on that 1525 level. So it looks as if that we're going to have another move up in the market, and I think if we're going to reach that minimum expected target of that 1563, 1564 area, well, we may as well just move on up a little bit more to tag up on that 1575 level of the 2007 top that we've seen all the way back there. Let's move on to the Asx200. Okay, looking at the hourly chart here, we've been observing the Asx200 for some time now, where we've seen that the market's made this top up here around that 5,120 area, and that would have been, let's have a look, that would have been around the 20th, on Wednesday the 20th, or no, Wednesday the 19th rather, of February that we seen that top. Now we had that ugly Thursday afterward where we seen that 120 point drop in the markets or so, and ever since we've just gone sideways to up a little bit. So guys, nothing's really changed with this market. We're still waiting to see whether this support line down here around that 4,980 level will break, and we would then see an eventual move down to around that 4,850 level. But if we were to see the bullish case scenario play out, which is fairly likely at the moment, because if we see the S&P go up and get over that 1525 neckline and close above there, well then we would then be looking at around the 5,240 level as an expected target for the Asx200 in the coming weeks. So guys, I fairly much favour the bullish side at the moment, only because we're sort of seeing that there's more strength coming out of the S&P, and this market looks as if that it's consolidating. And when you see a market rise up for some time and then you start to see more sideways action and the market's not really going up or down, it's just constricted between two areas, that tells you that 2 out of 3 chances that you'd see a bull rise other than seeing the markets fall. So even though we don't really have a sloping downward top line, I still think that there's a good chance that this is just a consolidation pattern and that we will probably start to head on up. Now the other obvious thing is that you could draw a trend line underneath here and bring that out underneath the low that we've seen here and go, well, here's a left shoulder here, ahead, and are we creating a right shoulder now? So it's one of these things to consider, that we may be still looking at a bearish case scenario, but I think overall, guys, potentially at the end of today's trade, the last 4 hours or so, we've seen a little bull flag pattern form here. So let's see if this top line can break tomorrow, and then we may head on up a little bit higher, or we may even consolidate a bit further in tomorrow's trade. But let's just see if we can get up to tackle that 5,120 level. But I think overall, guys, one has to question how much steam is really left in these markets. Even if we do get up to around that 5,240 level as an expected level, you then have to question. If we take a look back all the way to say June of 2012, we've seen the Asx200 pretty much rise up, only created a very small reversal pattern here that gave us that low in late November, and then ever since we've seen this move on up. And you would think at some stage, even if we can get up to this top channel line, which has been our long-term channel line that we've been observing, and tag up on that area, you'd think that we may be potentially putting in a top somewhere up in the 5,250 area. What goes up must eventually come down, but at the moment we're clearly in a bull run, and we don't want to miss out on any moves to the upside. So I'll be back tomorrow with another fresh daily market update, and thanks very much for watching.